Hey y'all, welcome to Parker's Reef. On today's episode, we're going to check out some crazy custom engineered pieces of reefing equipment from the team in Australia here called Dreamz Plus. Alright, thank you for joining me on another episode of Parker's Reef, and I'm super excited to bring this episode to you today because a couple of years ago I bumped into a small team of reefing enthusiasts at a reef stock, I'm pretty sure it was, here in Sydney, Australia. The team are called Dreamz Plus, and they actually have a glazing background, which is basically working with glass, but had an interest into the reef hobby, and as people tend to do in this space, started tinkering about with making some custom items, and before you know it, they've got some wild innovations on their hands. Now, fast forward a couple of years up to the present time, I got the opportunity to bump into Paul and Balaji again, and I was blown away at how far the team have come in that couple of years, and even further blown away by some of the super innovative things they have, which just revolutionize the way we approach reefing. Now, they are still a small team. There's a couple of guys there and they do custom make each and every piece they do for their customers, but I could not help but take the opportunity to mic up Paul so he could take us through just some of the small sample of items they had on hand there at the pet show, just to showcase the kind of innovative and custom work they can do for you and your reef tank. There's some things there from a different approach to a basic glass box, all the way through to crazy frag tanks, light reactors, turf scrubbers. One of the coolest things I saw there was a meteor reactor that has a special little feature that you'll see shortly, but just a completely different approach to things that we take for granted in this space is exactly what we need to open our minds and to take this hobby to new evolutions. So I guess there's not much more of a preface I can give you other than to say, well, let's roll the footage and see what Paul has to say from Dreamz Plus. Alright guys, I'm here with Paul from Dreamz Plus. He's going to show us a sample of some of these revolutionary products they've been working away. I wasn't going to take any footage from this show, but I saw this booth and I just felt there was way too much cool stuff not to share with you all. So firstly, Paul, thank you for making the time available to share with us. And can you take us through some of the cool stuff you guys have been working on?
Yeah, definitely. So look, we'll just run through a few things. We've come back to the show, learnt a lot the last year. We've started with custom tanks. I've got a glass background, so we thought that'd just be a no-brainer to jump into the custom tanks and bring our glass flair and all our what we know about glass.
Yeah, because for you guys, your bread and butter is actually in glass.
It's actually glass,
glass manufacturing.
I come from a family of glaziers.
Yes.
So and we have manufacturing plants and we do all that. This started as a hobby, and then as with everyone in this game, it kind of blows up and
becomes a bit of a hobby. So I mean,
an addiction.
The funny thing is, like you guys are glaziers by trade, and you kind of made your mark with acrylic products, which don't get me wrong, are incredible, and we'll get to those soon. But it's cool to see you sort of come full circle and back into the glass tanks here. And I believe you've got some pretty unique features on this tank here. Yeah,
definitely. So look, a glass tank's a glass tank, but we can custom make them. So with our manufacturing, we can make whatever you like.
Yes.
But a few unique features is we have a full internal Euro brace, but it's all CNC made, so just the quality and the detail is a lot nicer.
Beautiful.
And we can make it to suit, like we've had other ones where we included another brace, different detail to it. But then we delve straight into the acrylics and all the engineering that Balaji, my business partner, brings in.
Yes.
While still retaining the glazing. So as an example, we've got a weir here, but we've mitered the back of the glass.
Yeah.
And it's a full length, so technically you're getting the entire width of the tank, all the water and all the top surface water coming up and over. So the technology and the efficiency of how the weir and all the systems work from beyond that and below and in the sun starts at the top. So that's Balaji's idea, and we've done it with this glass panel.
Crazy nice.
Again, because we do glass, this is a black glass panel, not acrylic.
Yeah, beautiful.
So it won't get dirty. Well, it will get dirty, but you can make it look pretty quite
exactly.
easily.
The glass cleans up a lot easier, and it does tend to grow the coralline and stuff a lot slower than plastic.
Exactly.
Anyone that's got plastic wave makers in their tank knows that that's where the coralline grows first.
Exactly. So this is better. It looks a little nicer.
Definitely. A little nicer, it's beautiful.
Balaji's little signature of the return pipe being inside the tank.
Yes.
He's also included here, we've got like a water change system that we've included inside the weir. So instead of getting ugly pumps and making a big mess, we just plug in underneath, plug in the pump, do a water change nice and simply and easy.
Very nice.
And so beyond the weir itself, there's the silencer. So one big thing here is we're trying to keep, some people really love the sound of the water, I've noticed from the show. So we're kind of killing that here, but yeah, it's a silencer which separates the air from the water and just really silences the whole operation of it.
So you've almost got like it's like a semi sort of weir inside the weir there, like the water comes in through here and then it comes down into your weir.
And there's like an emergency overflow on this side, so just in case it comes over. So again, the over-engineering that Balaji puts into this is great.
That is Dreamz Plus, over-engineering.
It's quite technical and we love it, So that's kind of the main features of the tank. A glass tank, again, from our glass background, I can do bigger and better.
Yes, of course. We
can build big 4-meter tanks if need be. So
for sure.
That's what we want to try to start looking at. So and also, so with the glass box that we do build, in terms of the bracing, we've learned a lot when we've been building our latest tanks, and we've got a full brace down the bottom.
Yes.
And that black part is actually a fully sealed silicon join on the whole thing. So it takes a lot of silicon, a lot of effort, but we think it looks really nice and adds a lot of rigidity to the tanks. A lot of strength. So we enjoy doing that style of things. And
amazing. Well, anyone that knows my tank or knows my channel knows for me, everything is the devil's in the detail, and the detail on these builds is just second to none. So I love seeing it. It's great.
So the rest beyond that is all typical like tank detail. I think beyond there, and then it'll bring us to our next bit, which would be all the sumps and
Let's go check them out.
Thank you.
Now, I've just noticed something else that was just hiding behind this tank, and I've got you to get it out. What are we looking at here in front of the glass box?
This is a sold lid net, so inspired by Lamborghini.
Nice. Again, do you want the tank lid to match your Lamborghini? I don't even know, Urus?
And Urus, So if you got one of those, or you got a Performante or anything, Lambo, Ferrari, we can match it. Might be some copyright issues, but look, this just shows off the customization that we can do with our machine.
For sure,
So we've done this for a client to include all that finer detail.
Yes.
Our polycarb lid.
Yes.
And a net. So, and there's this actual center. Normally a start button on a Lamborghini. This is the feeder area. So
awesome.
We made that for the feeding.
Just goes to show the level of detail you guys can go to, and I guess even more so the level of customization where you're replicating something of someone's car into their fish tank just to give that super personalized touch.
And look, we've talked about that, and the customization, generally people relate that to expensive.
Yes.
It's as expensive as much work that you put into it. So
of course,
we can build things a bit more economical, and a bit obviously cheaper to suit the style. Like obviously the amount of work that goes into this, it takes a lot of time, but that's what they wanted.
Of course.
We can dull it down too.
Of course. Not everyone has to have the Urus style lid, but if you want to, you can. And if you want to have the Toyota Camry version, you can as well. No, that's incredible. Awesome. Let's have a look and see what else you've got.
All right, thank you. So here we have our sump. Starting with probably one of the key main change features. Balaji's, I wouldn't say invented, but changed how a roller mat works.
Reinvented the roller mat.
We call it a dry roller mat. So again, just working out the engineering side, his idea behind this is that if you have a look inside, the mat sits above the water line. So, So
instead of, typically the mat comes down into the water and the water pushes through it there, and then basically when the water level rises, the mat rolls up. But it always sits down in the water, particularly the part that is filtering the water sits down in the water.
So then, the kind of idea with this was actually Friday beers going, hey,
that's where all the best ideas come from.
Isn't the water supposed to go through the filter like in a car or like anything else? So we started with that kind of beer talk, and then after that it came through as an actual design.
Awesome.
And there's probably been about 3 or 4 different concepts to it.
Of course, these things take iterations.
And now we're here. So like in the manifold itself brings the water over the actual mat.
Yes.
And we're using all the surface area that we can possibly can. We were looking at things like odors too, if they smell being
Yes.
out of the water.
Yes.
We haven't had any issues with that, and it doesn't clog so much, and it uses the whole mat.
For
so
sure.
I don't have the actual data on it, but I believe it is far more efficient than sitting inside.
I would imagine too, plus the fact that you're going to be able to, gravity's going to be working in your favor even more. The water's going to want to go through rather than you got the mat sitting down in the water, there's
Exactly.
less pressure pushing down on it, so you're going to get probably more filtration out of your mat.
Exactly. And so the other parts that we'll talk about soon is like the algae scrubbers and things also enter over the mat.
Yes,
So
yes.
they take out what we don't need and then give you what you do underneath. He's then gone another level and there's a silencer system under the water. So immediately I found that obviously there will be a water trickle underneath this dry mat system.
Yes.
But by CNCing and 3D CNCing some grooves through here,
Yes.
we'll call it a silencer system.
Sure.
It separates the water from the air.
Yes.
And it is quite silent.
Yeah,
Again,
so the mat actually will sit up
at
around
this height here,
at that height there,
above the water line,
Yep,
and the water line will be about here.
The water actually comes out through these grey
These manifolds, we
that
call
manifold
them. Yeah.
there. Yep. And will then trickle down over the mat, and then the water, once it's passed through the mat, will collect in this tray
These
here,
trays, yep.
go through these channels and down through these pipes, which have got some
Silencing features,
features on there. Super unique.
Quite technical, but and again, with all our stuff, we can build it as we go. We're not a big mass production. We're not
Yes.
going to sell you a product. So if you don't like these, we can take them out. If you don't want them,
Sure.
if you want them bigger or smaller, that's what we do.
That is the benefit of you don't have 1,000 of these sitting on the shelf. You make to order.
No, it's just going to be made to order. It's
Yep.
not big mass produced. So I've noticed in this hobby, everyone has their own opinions to things. Everyone has their own ways to do things.
What do you mean? People have opinions in reefing? You're kidding.
So, and I'm not here to tell them otherwise because
sure.
we're not from this game, but bringing Balaji's engineering,
Yes.
I think it worked well. There's a lot of guys here with crazy good ideas, and hopefully we can bring them to the table.
Definitely.
Fruition.
Definitely.
So, so starting with that, I think that's one of the coolest.
I know there's some other features on this roller mat that...
Sorry, I don't want to skip. I missed. So
there's a couple of things on this that I think are fairly
Actually,
simple and straightforward, but game-changing.
This one's not plugged in. We'll jump in around here.
Sure.
So this one's plugged in over here.
So we'll jump over and have a look at this roller mat because this one's all plugged in,
Yep.
and you can take us through some of the crazy features you got on this thing because it's lit up like a Christmas tree on the front there, and you've got sensors and buttons and all sorts happening.
Yep.
Can you take us through some of the features that really make this unique above and beyond the above water filtration that we've already covered?
Again, Dreamz Plus way that we do things. Balaji's gone and bought every button that's possibly on the market and switchwork, and tactically this is the best one.
Yes.
So he's got all the different features that for the roller mat itself. So obviously an on button, operational button. So obviously making
It's like a manual feed sort of button?
feed button,
Yep.
and it has different speed. Also, if you want to run a certain speed, to be honest, once you have your tank set up and with the right flows, you can just have a set speed.
Yes.
And then a reverse button, so we can reverse the mat back around.
Amazing. The number of times that you've accidentally bumped a float switch or something's gone wrong or whatever, and the mat's just put a meter through it, and or even just when you're wanting to back the mat out to put a fresh roll in.
Exactly.
Having that reverse button,
And
so simple yet so clever.
Yeah, and that's what we learned too before. We're just rolling it by hand. This is so much neater and simpler.
Beautiful.
So, and obviously, and then there's just two warning lights. So a reverse light and a warning light when we're full, when we've used the entire mat.
Right. So this light here is telling us
It's a sensor.
that sensor that's gone off by your hand there. So when the mat has filled up that roll, it's going to trigger that because it's used up all the mat and it's optically sensing that and giving us a warning.
Exactly. Now, further than this, we've gone down the automation, but we're not there yet. To give you warning lights and signals through all that automation. Not there yet, though.
It's all good. No, I mean, I know how rapidly you guys are developing things, so I can only imagine what it's going to be like at the next show. But super cool, and this is all, and this is a high powered motor that you use.
Definitely.
On your...
Again, I'll send the specs through. I don't know that straight off the top of my head, so we'll put that in the comments down below.
Definitely.
But in terms of the technical side of the electrics, I have to consult Balaji on that. But
sure.
They're very high-end products. I know there's about $300-400 worth of just electronics inside of this unit
Wow, yeah,
without
okay.
the manufacturing.
So it's high quality gear built to last.
Yeah, definitely.
And your system, I notice you don't have any rolls in them at the moment. Does that mean that the rolls come separately, or what rolls does it use? Or?
Again, we've noticed everyone likes different branding.
Okay.
So as I was saying, this one's set up for Reef Factory.
Yes.
But we can make them to suit. So, and we've also noticed most of these are built into our sumps that we've currently made. We've made ones that retrofit to any other manufacturer's existing sump, glass sumps, whatever you like.
Awesome. So you're giving people the option to use their own sump. You can retrofit something in, but also if someone has a preference for the Reef Factory roll, or if they would rather use the Red Sea roll or whatever it is, you guys can tailor it to use that.
Definitely.
And then they're not pinned into your roll for eternity.
No, we don't want to be doing that. It's again sticking to the custom nature of everything. The last one we made was actually that we had the dry setup, but it was a lot longer. I think it was like 600 mil long, because that's what the client wanted.
Yeah, right.
And obviously we tested it all out with the high-powered motor, and it all worked, and it fitted perfectly into his existing sump. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We jumped from that to this scrubber that's half built.
Yeah. Show us this scrubber.
So it's half built, but just our take on a scrubber. So we have got adjustable feet on the bottom. We'll start to the bottom.
Yes.
To adjust height, and an actual level, spirit level on the top. So this is the lid.
Yes.
To adjust, to obviously make it level. Seems like overkill, but the intention behind this is if it's not level, you won't get even propagation.
For sure. I mean, the whole way a turf scrubber works is that the water runs along here and then goes down.
Yep.
And if it's not level, the water's not going to go evenly down, and you're only getting half the use out of your scrubber.
Exactly. And then we've also introduced an air line.
Yeah, right.
So to try propagate, to get that initial bump up of algae, we need to, so
really
the idea is oxygenate it and let it should grow quicker. That's the intention of this.
Yep.
Obviously, there's all mirrors inside.
Yeah, I love the mirrored finish in there. So when you look from the outside, it's solid black, even a matte black. But in there, you've got mirrors on both sides, just maximising every ray of light.
Yep. And as far as light goes, we use a very high quality light itself.
Yes.
It's a low heat, very low heat light. So you're not burning the top either. So we've heard that in the industry that is also an issue with scrubbers. So we're just trying to make this as the best scrubber we can from the feedback we're getting.
It's taking on board feedback and just developing solutions to the problems.
And again, jumping into if there's a certain way that a client doesn't like that, or a different light, or prefers it different heat and different size, we can make that.
You can make it happen.
That's the intention.
Crazy.
So that obviously plugs into the top of, jump back over here, to the roller mat, the dry roller mat, and filters straight through.
Yeah, nice. So if any of that algae does get a bit loose from the turf scrubber, it goes in and sits on top of the filter roller, which is sitting above the water level.
Grabs it. And
you're not letting those nutrients leach back into the system.
Exactly.
Amazing.
So we'll quickly just jump around to reactors. So here we have our finished reactor. And I'll show you one we prepared earlier that's half open. So that's a finished.
So this is an algae light reactor.
Correct, yeah.
And obviously we've got the lights, the same lights you're using, similar lights at least in the turf scrubber you're using in the light reactor.
Yep.
And that one's obviously all blacked out, but to show the unique features, you've got an unwrapped one here, so we can see.
Yeah. So just showing how the light works, and again, the work that we went through to get this Venturi effect. So there's a lot of work that goes on beyond this black part here.
Sure.
But we've created a 3D Venturi, and we had a few goes at it.
Yes.
To make sure that there's no dead spots in the water.
Okay.
And it circulates as much as we possibly can with the pump flow that we possibly can. So
beautiful.
It's as efficient as we can get with this system. Yeah, so by creating this Venturi effect, we're getting all the algae to where it's supposed to be, and just really propagating as much as we can, moving the water around as much as we can.
So you got there's no obstructions in the middle of the reactor. It's just the light's entering from the outside. The algae's encouraged to spin around so that it gets access to the light the whole way. And obviously these plastic balls are just in here to show the Venturi.
Just to show how it's working.
Normally you wouldn't have that in there, but it's going to give a nice. I mean, I can imagine the first thing I noticed is going to be obviously a lot easier to clean. You don't have little intricate bits in there you're trying to reach in.
We tried to simplify the whole operation of it, exactly. So just unscrew, it's a lot easier to clean. And its connectivity, obviously it's all connected through Wi-Fi, different
Yeah.
systems that you like, so we can turn the lights on and off and check
Yes.
everything through. I think this one's set up with a certain switch system. Yeah,
Yep,
so
yep.
LifeX system through here, and it's all done Wi-Fi. So
Yeah.
we're now delving into the electronics of all this.
Yeah, awesome.
And the connectivity.
And LifeX, for those who don't know, like I love home automations and lights through the house, and all of your light strips and things in your sumps are all LifeX. These switches are LifeX, all Apple HomeKit available, and
Yep.
you can have it react to other things. That if your doorbell goes, you can have your sump light up a
Yeah.
colour. Do whatever crazy
Beyond
things you
me
want to
too, but it's crazy how connective it is. So we just
Definitely.
want to. Our next step is to get that connectivity and make it simple for the consumer to use. Like,
Amazing.
So
Fantastic. What about this big boy sitting in
Yeah,
front
I
of
know,
us here?
sitting
This
right
is
here.
something pretty special. We've got to talk about this.
it is. So this is our iteration of a Frag Tank,
Yeah.
but it's all inclusive, and we're trying to say you don't need any other system, no wave makers,
Yes.
because the way that we've designed this manifold will get the flow of water over certain livestock a certain
sure.
way. So, and you can run it as is. There's nothing else to add. So
Yep.
it's essentially a Frag Tank. Runs a manifold underneath. I have a quick look. So this manifold runs through independently on a pump,
Yes.
and then goes to our roller mat setup, and
Yep.
continues through the back.
Crazy.
And then there's a return line below that again.
Yep.
So the intention is to circulate the water below and above as best and efficiently as possible,
Yeah,
without
just-
any other inclusions.
Get rid of any sort of detritus in there, keep things all nice and fresh, make that filter roller do the work, and
And no, we don't need any additional wave makers or anything like
Yep,
that.
yep.
So yeah, it's a pretty cool just invention, I think, that Balaji's come up with, and we've got a few people interested that we want to see this full of livestock. And see-
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the fact that these are all individually adjustable, so you can.
Yeah.
You can dial in the flow you want over specific corals in that tank. If you want to turn the flow off for a second so you can
Yep,
do whatever you need to do, you can.
exactly.
It's all there, and it's all direct. Like we've got, this is obviously a fairly extreme option with this many nozzles.
Obviously,
You,
yeah.
you could do less if you wanted, but if you wanted to really dial that flow in specifically for each row of corals, you could.
can. Yeah, and it's all height adjustable. We have had people interested in this actual setup, but
Yes.
maybe use their own actual tank in glass possibly.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So again, going to the custom nature, we could box this in and slot it into an existing Frag
Yep.
tank, or make another tank.
For sure, yeah.
So-
Amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all completely adjustable or designable so people can have whatever they want. But even this system is adjustable with the weir, adjustable weir here, so you can change the water height you want in the system. You got these sections in the back there for
We've got
skimmers,
ATO water,
heaters,
skimmer,
yep.
media.
all the things you need. And the best thing about acrylic for shows like this is once you drain that tank out, you sell all your corals, you drain the water out, you pick that up and put it in the back seat of the car.
I put this in the back of the ute by myself, and that was it. So,
The days of lugging, these couple
big-
100 kilo fragile glass boxes around.
Yeah.
When you've got such a nice slick little unit like this, you can load it up and go. Because I know everyone's favourite time of the event is pack up time.
yeah, exactly. So we actually really like this, and it had a lot of interest.
I can imagine. Yeah,
So,
no doubt at all.
Yeah, and that's about it. There's just a standard reactor. Another one has a flow meter in it.
I love this one with the flow meter in it. So you've got the flow meter built into the reactor. So this is one you could use for like GFO or carbon or something like that. And
Yep.
just about getting that repeatability. There's Balaji, the man behind the scenes, is literally coming in behind the scenes, and you can see that flow adjusting there just by that beautiful gate valve back there. And about keeping consistent results and repeatability. So if you normally flow your GFO at X number of litres per hour, you can dial that precisely back in
Yep.
where it is without having to have these things external to the reactor. It's all there.
And that's been a learning curve for me too, because again, we're talking about flow. A lot of people put big pumps on a tank.
Yep.
But see our weir that we talked about earlier, are you actually getting the water change and flow?
Yep.
So that's where Balaji gets the whole process, the whole product, and works out that big is not necessarily better.
Of course.
It's like the ecosystems that we're trying to replicate.
Yes.
Getting them to work in balance together. That's the whole intention. So
Super cool. And it's just, things like this are the definition of Dreamz Plus in my opinion. Like, it's, on one hand, you're not reinventing the wheel, but on the other hand, you are. Like, you're taking things that already exist. Like a media reactor is,
Exactly,
they're a dime a dozen. Everyone's got media reactors on the shelf. No one has flow meters inside of them.
That's right.
And it's those little details that you guys are implementing, which is just changing the game, and I love to see the growth that you're doing.
Thank you, thank you. No, we appreciate it. We appreciate the love from the industry too. So thank you
great.
for your time. Yeah.
And if people do want to get in touch with you guys to talk about some of the products they've seen here or about something else, because as we've touched on, you guys custom make everything. What's the best way for them to get hold of you?
At this point, we're setting up our socials at the moment, but just email through the website.
Awesome.
Just send an email through to Bellagio or myself. Anything you like, we'd like to hear your ideas.
Yep.
And then we'll get back to you on how we can make them a reality.
So it's a full sort of consultation style process, and you guys work together and work out what's going to be the best solution and develop from there.
Yep.
That's incredible. I'll be sure to include all of those details on screen now, or if not, below in the details comment section below. So anyone that is looking for some high-end, crazy design custom stuff, which is literally only limited by your dreams, you know where to reach out. So thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
All right, guys, there you have it. That was the conversation with Paul from Dreamz Plus. I hope you enjoyed seeing a slightly different take on a number of different reefing pieces of equipment that we may or may not take for granted. I know I was personally very, very excited to see all the nice little tweaks and adjustments the guys made to all of those bits of equipment, which just takes it to the next level. And if you've been following this channel for long, you know I'm all about taking things like my Dream Reef to that next level, and to see people right here in Australia just pushing the envelope further and further is super, super cool to see. Now, if you are interested in having a chat with the team about a one-off custom build for something on your reef tank, or if you have an idea that you think could push this reefing envelope that little bit further, please do not hesitate. Jump onto their website and even their Facebook page now, which has recently had some updates. I'll put all the details down here below so you can go check it out. And of course, reach out to the team and see how you guys can work together to make your one-off piece of a reefing art come to life. Now, I guess I don't have much more to say other than that. If you did enjoy the video, please do leave a thumbs up. If you've got any questions, comments, or feedback from myself or the team at Dreamz Plus, pop it in the comment section down below. I do personally reply to each and every comment there, so it is the best way to get hold of me. And of course, if you have any reefing requests, you want to see any videos over the holiday weeks and months, please do let me know in the comment section down below. I don't have a lot of time off work, but as I always do, I will find time to get out there and get some content to share with you guys over this festive season. Other than that, I think I'll leave you with it. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, stay safe and keep reefing, guys. Cheers. Bye.